Good evening, Fernwood. It is your happy, hopeful Neil, and it's time for us to get another helping of Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. Today we are watching episode 227 from February 15th, 1977. Let's take a look at yesterday's emotional episode. Heather and Philip woke up from having slept together, and both of them are glad they didn't go all the way. However, Mary is worried at home with the police because she doesn't know where Heather is. Tom comes home crestfallen because he can't find Heather either, and the whole household is up in arms as Heather comes in nonchalantly and explains that she was sleeping over at a friend's place. When Tom and Mary press on this, Heather explains that she was spending the night with Philip, and that sends Tom into a tizzy. Tom blames Mary because now she's working in the factory and says that she can't go back to work anymore. She insists that she is going to go, and Tom says that he's going to kill little Garth. Next door at the Haggers, Loretta has spent some time decorating with new plants. Charlie explains that she never slept with Mac when she was Lulu, and also explains that Mac is going to be a guest in their home, which makes Loretta very uncomfortable. Mac shows up with a fern, and when Charlie calls Loretta out, she's dressed very casually in a sweater and jeans, and is very formal with Mac, though it's clear that everyone feels a bit awkward. Then later at the Shumways, Kathy is trying to diaper a cabbage when Mary shows up and blames everything about Heather on Kathy. This turns into an ugly fight where the sisters each point out the flaws of the other, and Martha and George show up, and it turns into an all-family screaming match, with Mary leaving saying that she never wants to come over again. In the next scene, we come back to Martha and Kathy. Martha explains that she tries to be impartial with her daughters, and then points out that Kathy still hasn't named the baby. They go through a baby naming book, and for now, Kathy is just going to have to call the baby Baby, and Martha thinks that has a ring to it. Then we cut over to Merle Jeter, who is pouring out his heart to Wanda, at least he thinks it is Wanda, underneath the blankets, and he gets in bed and asks if Wanda has heard him. Wanda enters through the door, and it's clear that Wanda was not the person in the bed. Merle is surprised and thinks that it's a man and gets very jealous, and then pulls the covers open, and it is Lila, the cleaning lady, and that leaves Merle a bit aghast. And everyone, yesterday was a very emotional episode. I expect we will see some fallout, so why don't we get started?
Mary Hartman! Mary Hartman!
I can't believe it, Wanda. You and Lila together in my own bed. I've seen some pretty seamy things in my life as a preacher and public servant. I've seen folks stray way off the straight and narrow, touch sin and perversion. I'm talking about touching it firsthand. I've done that. I've been there. I felt it. This just... I can't accept it. I just can't. I can't handle it. It's a crushing thing. It's just a crushing thing to a man when his wife rejects him for a woman. It hits him where it hurts.
Merle, I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you.
No. The thing I don't understand is, all these weeks I've been craving you. I've been desiring you. I had to have you. I told you that. I made it perfectly clear to you. You say no to me, and then you go in after that girl in there.
Merle, look, a woman needs love.
So does a man.
Merle, we're talking love, not sex for sex's sake.
No, but they go hand in hand, Wanda.
No, they
that's
don't.
Nature's way.
Not necessarily. Listen, Merle, lately I have had these feelings, human feelings. That the need to be held and comforted. Merle, a woman needs tenderness. What's the use of talking about it? She just gives me things that you can't, that's all.
That's disgusting.
Well, Be that as it may, Merle, my sex comprises 55% of the world's population. Now, if I can't get love from your 45%, I'm just going to have to look for my own kind.
Look, Wanda, look, you're talking about two women together. I mean, I don't know. I can't picture two women. I don't even know how do they, what, God, Wanda, let me put it this way. A woman needs for a man to be strong for her. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. She needs to hold on to something powerful in the middle of the night.
Yeah, but Merle, what if a woman happens to be strong herself?
What do you mean, like you?
I'm no mouse, Merle.
I'll go along with that, Wanda. But consider this, if you will. Let's take you and me. Now, between the two of us, who would, and be truthful about this, who would you say is the most dominant between you and me?
Oh, Merle, there's no contest whatever. Well, you are, definitely.
Right. I knew you'd say that. Now then, that being the case, let me query you in this area.
Hello, Mr. Mayor. Hello, Wanda.
Hi, Lila.
Can't you get her out of this room?
Well, Merle, why can't you talk to Lila to her face?
Because I don't have anything to say to Lila, because she doesn't have any business even being in this discussion, that's why.
Merle, I think she does. Lila, dear, could you come over here for a minute? Lila, how do you feel about love?
Love? Oh, I like it. Well, it's very nice. Two people caring. A special feeling for a special person.
That's very sweet.
That's very baloney, unless they're married.
Merle, marriage is a ceremony and a document. Look, even though you may have loved me physically, and even then it was only at your convenience, I never held your heart.
Oh, that's so sad.
Let's just back up here. I mean, what's the big deal here anyway? I mean, all that stuff was in the past. Can't you forget about the past? Can't you let it be buried? My gosh, you've got me now. What more do you want?
Well, honey, it's not that simple. Now, even Lila realizes that.
Oh.
Caring takes a long time. You have to learn it slowly, like cooking or driving.
Right. Now, this is a person who cares, Merle. You have driven me into the arms of another woman.
Wanda, all I'm saying to you is that I love you. I can't take it anymore. I love you, and I want you.
Yeah, but...
As my wife, and just let me finish. It's my turn now. I want you as my wife and my chief of staff.
Merle, what happens if you can't get everything you want?
Well, and that's grounds.
Wait a minute. Merle, you don't mean grounds for divorce.
No, wait, let's just talk about it seriously. Now, I got a right not to be rejected. I got a right not to be denied. You know that.
Hey, excuse me, but isn't it getting kind of late?
You two are free to leave anytime you want to.
Lila, how would you feel about staying on the couch tonight, dear? Is that all right?
Well, you sure there's nothing I can get you? A hot bath? A cup of tea?
No, not tonight. Look, I'm terribly tired, and Merle just hasn't been getting the kind of rest he needs.
Hey, you know something?
What?
I think I'm beginning to feel my strength come back, right as we talk at this moment. I can feel it. I can feel a charge coming through me. You know that?
Good night.
Oh, good night.
Oh, let's see now. This is 75 record. Well, I mean, I can't keep all of them. All right, chuck it. I should just chuck all of these things or I'm never going to get the house clean. Of course, on the other hand, now, if I do have that garage sale, I'm going to be needing this to wrap jelly glasses. Better keep it.
Continental pizza.
Just a minute. Hi.
Hi. Everything?
That's right. Oh, thanks a lot. How much is it?
$4.75.
Right, just a minute. Let's see. Now, I'm going to give you a $5, and I want you to take the extra change. Keep it and have a great time. All right? Here you go. I'm doing it because, you know, it's an extra special night and everything.
Thank you.
See you later, and thanks for bringing it. Oh, we are going to have this. Hello.
Hi, honey.
Oh, hi, Charlie. How are you, honey? Where are you?
I'm at the Capri.
Charlie, are you sick or something?
No, honey, I'm just arm wrestling with Mac here. Oh.
Charlie. Well, listen, honey, I've got an extra special treat for us tonight. I ordered, specially for you, the Continental Pizza. Isn't that exciting? It's all hot and steamy, Charlie, and so am I.
We're just waiting for you to come home.
Honey, yeah, that's fine. Wait, honey, how about I'm just here at the. I just want to bowl a couple of frames to have a couple of beers with Mac, huh? That's all I'm doing is just doing that, honey. How about that?
Charlie, I mean, this was just, you know, kind of an extra special night. I've got on my extra shorty nightie and everything. I just thought, you know.
Well, honey, since it's Continental, why don't we do like the Continentals do and have it later, huh? Is that all right, honey?
Here, let me talk to her.
Here, Mac wants to talk to you.
Hey, Loretta. How you doing?
Fine.
Hey, we're just down here raising a little hell. He'll be home a little while, all right?
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Both me and my pizza was hot and steamy, but you was out with the guys. And we'll both grow lukewarm and cold together.
Kitchen. Oh, hi, Loretta. How are you?
Hi, Mary. I'm just fine. Listen, you know what? I thought it'd just be so much fun if you and I went tonight to see A Star is Born. Oh, and listen, Mary, don't worry about the two of them naked on that poster because it's not like that. Because, you know, I mean, reading movie magazines and everything, I know that Barbara Streisand is a big enough star that she don't have to let them shoot her below the waist looking like that, you know.
No,
just to...
Loretta, I can't do it. I'm having some very boring people over later. In fact, I leave. They're so boring, but they're so boring. I'm afraid they wouldn't understand. They'd just get insulted. But, you know, next time, I mean, I'd even invite you so you can see for yourself why I didn't invite you this time.
Oh, well, that's okay, Mary. I mean, you know, if they're boring and all, it's because it's depressing enough, you know, around here with Charlie running off and everything. I mean, not running off tacky, running off,
I know what you mean. I know.
just running off
Right.
man kind of stuff, you know, man games.
If it gets too bad, just come over, okay? And if it looks boring, you know that we're having a wonderful time. Okay? Bye. Come in, unless you're armed and dangerous.
Mrs. Hartman,
Yeah?
I'm here because of the house down the street. I thought you might have a key.
Oh, you mean the Gimbel's house? Who are you? What's your line? You want a cup?
Oh, I'm a real estate agent.
I already have a house, which is, perfectly fine. I realize it is in the track, but, it's a fine house. So why do you want the key to the other house?
Well, Mrs. Welch said the house was unoccupied. She's put it up for sale.
Mrs. Welch, Pat's mother, put that house up for sale? Can she do something like that? Is she allowed to do that? I mean, is that against the law or for the law for her to do that?
Well, she's got the papers.
Ah. Did she tell you anything about that house? Did anything at all? I mean, I don't know how much this would help in your selling or anything, but, I'm pretty sure that it's haunted. Does that help?
What are you talking about? Tell me, was this house ever a commune?
No. It was never a commune. It had 2 murders there. It did have 2 murders. One was a drowning, and the other one was a very colorful Christmas tragedy. And then there was a case of homosexuality that was almost terminal, but not quite. But I think you're going to love the house. I mean, it sure has lots of memories, I'll tell you that.
The key. Mrs. Welch thought you might have one.
Oh, no. No. Try to break in. I won't tell anyone. We as a neighborhood try to maintain a very low confidential profile, you know? We're very low on gossip. Coffee? I got these this little bridge mix stuff, and I got the pretzels, and I got some finger sandwiches over there, and I got ho-hos, and I got pretzels, you know. And...
Come on, Hartman, let's just play. When's the fourth getting here?
Oh, any minute, and it's Mary. Could you call me Mary?
Oh. Now, who is the fourth?
Vernon Bales.
Vernon Bales? He is management, Hartman.
What the heck would you invite management to play with us?
Oh, Hartman.
No, he could be like one of the guys. I mean, he's like one of the guys. I mean, he really is. It's Mary. Could you call me Mary? Oh, see, now there's the dummy now. Oh, I'm sorry, that's bridge. I must stop doing that. Okay, let me get it. I'll get it. I'll be right there. Oh, hi, Miss Bales. Hi. Do you mind if I call you Vernon? Not anything like that. You know,
Jackson, Tiny.
Hi. Yeah, how you doing?
Go ahead and have a seat there. Have a seat. Yeah. Want a ho-ho?
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Could we just start playing?
Oh, sure.
What are the stakes? Nickel, dime, quarter?
Yeah.
Very much.
Well, I'll tell you, this is new and different for me, I'll tell you that. Spending like a different kind of evening at home, do you know what I mean?
Deal, would you, Hartman?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and it's Mary. I just want to do one thing first. I want to check my list here, okay? I just want to check my list. Let's see, 3 of a kind beats 2 pair beats 1, then there's a straight, then there's a flush, then there's a... Okay. So I just did that. It's funny, you know, the way that I learned to play this was I picked up a book, I don't know if you know, called 101 Ways to Entertain Your Friends and everything like that. So I picked up that book and, you know, that's how I learned to play. Now, I realize what we have to discuss before we really get started on these cards yet is the ante. So I was thinking, up to you guys though, you know, like what about a nickel?
Nickel's beautiful.
Yeah, that's all right.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay. Do you like the little dish here? I use it for noodles Romanoff.
Yeah, that's very pretty.
Do you like that?
Yes.
Oh.
I'll open for dime.
Yeah, all right.
Oh,
2.
how many cards? 2? 2.
1.
1.
3.
3. 1, 2, 3. And, dealer takes, none.
None.
No, none.
Dime. All right. I'll see that dime and I'll raise you 20.
Another dime says a pair is all you got.
I'll see that the dime, and I'll raise you 25, 35, 45, 50. I'll raise you 50.
50?
Yeah.
Hartman, are you sure you know how to play this game?
Well, let's see, yeah. I'd face the music, Sam. That's just Casablanca, isn't that from that?
That's not right.
Oh, yeah.
All right. 7s. Pair of aces.
Well, beats me. What you got?
Pair of aces.
Oh,
65 low. She's also got a straight flush. Yes, I know.
Oh, so, I won that? I won? I'm sorry.
She's sorry.
Oh, no. Oh, listen, you want the nickels back. You want some nickels back?
No, I just want a beer.
Oh, okay.
I think I'll have a ho-ho.
See, you know what I really like about... Oh, listen, by the way, eat the pretzels. Eat the pretzels. But, like, one of the things, like, I really like about poker, I mean, like, here, Vernon, you know, he's management, and Tiny has seniority, and here we are. We're all just able to sit together, you know, and spend this time like this, like man to girl.
Deal, Hartman.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know what I find really interesting that Vernon is management, and Tiny wants to know why we're stockpiling cars.
Mary.
He just wants to know why we're working the double time on cars. I mean, he wants to know if you have a strike in mind. Is that why, or is it? He just wants to know because Tex doesn't want any kind of a strike or anything.
Hartman.
Like that.
No, I didn't say that.
You did say that.
Go on, Hartman. Very interesting.
Well, you see, now I told you that. I told you he would be interested in that. He'll be interested in that. Okay, I will tell you. I mean, Texas wants more coffee breaks. Tiny wants more vending machines. And we'd all like some more options, you know, on our overtime in our contracts. That's all.
Maybe you don't like raises, too. And a vote. It's nothing, really. We don't have any beefs.
Hartman, just leave us out of it, okay?
Hey!
Oh, hi, Charlie.
Hi.
We're just playing poker.
Hey, well, it looks like you need an extra player here. That's what you need is an extra player.
Do not look at me because I am fresh out of nickels.
Well, then I'll take your place.
Yeah, I still owe you $2 from the Super Bowl.
That's right, you do.
You ain't getting it.
No, I think we blew this hand.
What?
I'm there. I just thought I'd come over since
Hi, Loretta.
Oh, Loretta. Oh, everyone. This is my friend, Loretta. Oh, Mr. Bales, meet my friend Loretta. She's in the show business.
Charlie, what are you doing here? I've been sitting all by myself at home all night tonight when you've been out carousing. I had nothing to do but just twiddle my own personal thumbs, and here you are over at Mary's house the whole time. Why didn't you invite me, Charlie?
Honey, I was just bringing Mac through the neighborhood is all, honey. That's all it was. I mean,
It wasn't his fault, man. We went out and we...
Nobody's fault. I mean, he don't have a leash around his neck. I don't see you holding on the other end of it. I can't believe you did that to me.
Loretta, honey.
Who is it?
Hi, guys.
Hey, what are you doing up? Huh?
Oh, I had a nightmare and I couldn't sleep.
Oh, baby, come here. Oh, Tom, see, this is what I'm afraid of. Now that she's done what she's done, she's gonna have a lot of nightmares from now on. That's the way it happened with me.
Hey, we didn't do anything. Not little Goss and I. He slept and I slept. We slept. We didn't do anything. That's all we did. We just slept.
Really? You just slept, that's all?
What do you mean you didn't do anything? There was no, touching or anything?
No, nothing but a kiss.
Oh, Heather. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Heather,
Come on.
good. Come here. Hey, that took a lot of guts, honey. Hey, that's my little girl. Come here.
I'm not your little girl. I'm not a little girl, but I guess I'm yours.
Yeah, you bet.
Well, things are back to reality here. And we start with Merle and Wanda navigating their relationship. And something that is the case on this show is that couples really never talk about things in advance. Even when you talk about things in advance, things can still be dramatic. But it always seems like in this show, couples are springing their points of view on their partners, right? So like a person, in this case, Wanda, I guess I didn't realize Wanda had been sleeping with Lila as well, or having sex with Lila, or getting love from Lila, as Wanda describes it. And Merle has his homophobic reaction, which he has shown before. Merle is hurt and angry, and Wanda tries to explain that he doesn't give her what she needs. And I wonder if that means that she is a lesbian, Kinsey 6, as we would have said back then, or if that just means that, well, Merle does say that he is willing to give Wanda everything, but that isn't enough for Wanda. And so I wonder what that means about Wanda's sexuality. She's married, but that doesn't mean that she doesn't have feelings for women. But I feel like it's more of a point of view thing. Like, Merle is not giving of himself and doesn't see love the same way that Wanda sees love. And Lila sees love the way that Wanda sees love. And I think that's a bit incomprehensible for Merle, who takes this as grounds for divorce. Now, mind you, Merle had been doing plenty of things with Lila, so I'm not sure exactly how unequal it is, but the hurt is real, and Wanda doesn't have that sense of hurt, but Merle does. Like, Wanda doesn't seem traumatized by any of the outside of the marriage situation. Now, had they talked about being a polyamorous family or having a third, it would make it easier. That doesn't mean, though, that feelings don't get hurt or things don't get communicated, because even though you are talking about things doesn't mean that all of your communications are clear. It just seems like, in this case, in this world, people just don't talk about things, and they expect you to get stuff, to understand stuff is what I mean. And the scene ends with Lila capitulating to Merle and going to bed with him. And in this case, the conversation could be better. I mean, even if it's happening later, it could be better. So speaking of conversations that could happen, we cut over to Loretta, who is waiting for a pizza, continental style, and then she's on the phone with Charlie, who is at the Capri Lounge having boy time. I think that's an understandable thing to need in a relationship, right? In a marriage, it's not about necessarily being in the presence of your partner the whole time. However, it does feel like, again, there's some lack of consideration happening on Charlie's part here, that Charlie is not considering Loretta's feelings and that just expecting this to be a surprise. Perhaps Loretta could have said that she was excited to see Charlie at the end of the day, but we don't see Charlie leaving for work. So we don't know. There's some lack of communication that happened here, and Loretta is discovering it at the last moment. And Charlie needs some guy time. He hasn't had any. This could have been solved by saying, hey, I need some guy time, well, I want some affection time, and then managing that a little bit. And then after the commercial break, Loretta calls to Mary because she's lonely, and hasn't made plans to entertain herself. Mary has to put Loretta off because she's having some very boring people over, which lead to the end of Charlie and Loretta's arc in this episode, at least. And then we get a visit from a realtor who is talking about the Gimbel home and how it's been put up for sale. And I suppose I don't know what to take from that, because we don't know where Patty and Cookie are. For all I know, they're still living in the woods, or maybe they went off with the Romani people. But Mrs. Welch, now we have a name for Pat's mother, has put the house up for sale. And Mary recounts the history of that house, or at least the deaths and somewhat scandalous items associated with that house. She says break in because the neighborhood keeps things on a low profile. And then we see that very boring people party, which is poker night, and that's Mary trying to get closer to her workmates, Tiny and Tex. We finally have a name for this character, or if I never heard it before, well, here we are, it's Tex. And Mr. Vernon, I think that's what his name was. I'd have to look that up. I'll correct it if necessary. But he's in management, and they work the line. Well, Mary barely knows how to play poker. At least she knows enough to know how many cards to get rid of or whatever. She knows she has a list next to her to say what beats what. Poker isn't just having the cards, right? Poker is that part of your mind that is looking at the other players and seeing what they're going to do. Having the cards is just one part of it, but Mary happens to, through her cluelessness, win a hand. And then she deals out another hand, or starts to deal out another hand, and busts some confidences. Because she's heard Tex and Tiny talk about what they want at work, and shares that with management. That, I think, is taking something that is a confidence and sharing it with people who aren't within that sort of dome of secrecy. Now, Mary is doing her best to just communicate, but also understanding what people care to keep to themselves. That's important too. So Mary isn't quite clear about all of the unwritten rules of the workplace. She's never lived in a workplace, never had to be in a workplace until recently. And then Charlie and Mac show up, and kind of just on the whim, they're there for a second, and then Loretta shows up, and she gets so mad or sad, she has the emotional outburst, and it's understandable because she was feeling lonely. Charlie had only been there for maybe 10 seconds. 30 seconds, depending on how you count time, but it's not like he had been there the whole night like Loretta assumed, but more like, oh, he just arrived next door and stopped in at Mary's house first, maybe to drop Mac off. We don't know that, but apparently Charlie and Loretta have a real conversation to happen. Like, that's to come. And then we crossfade into the bedroom with Tom and Mary, and they are making out, having some good old lovin' time. And Heather comes in and interrupts. She had some kind of nightmare. And it's clarified now that Heather and Philip did not have sex. That is some of a relief for Tom and Mary. I feel like these episodes have been a lot more true and down to earth than the last month or so. So I'm really glad that we're back in this place, because just having real family issues and real talk, right? That's the thing that I admired about this show, is that it felt so relatable. And I can't relate to a mummy woman in the hospital as much as I can relate to having a misunderstanding with a sibling, or not seeing eye to eye with a partner, which I feel like this episode was all the way all about that. So maybe you can share your thoughts or feelings about that in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being you. Thank you so much for sharing another helping of Mary Hartman, and we will see you tomorrow night in Fernwood.